Welcome to Let's Talk. We are so glad to be joining you on this beautiful God's evening. And here at Let's Talk, we like to talk about things that matter to you so we can come up with workable, practical solutions so we have more action at Let's Talk. I'm your host, Jason, with my co-host,
Still
Cheryl. And guys, we just want you guys to call in when you feel free.
Yes.
Or drop a comment in the chat and we'll try to get to your comments. We'll see how this works tonight. So give us a call, 352-8255, 352-8255. And we're continuing with our politics topic because last week we were talking about, what were we talking about last week, Cheryl?
How we vote, what influences the voters.
Yes, thanks for reminding me.
Yes.
I'm my
you
senior
literally
years
forgot.
here. And tonight we're continuing with the government talk, the politics talks, because we're getting closer to the political season. So we just want to do what we can to try to assist our voting public to help them make wiser decisions.
Yes.
So our topic tonight will be governments. What should they be doing and what shouldn't they be doing? Or what are they responsible for? In your view, what do you think the government is responsible for? We have our opinion, Cheryl has our opinion, and I know you have your opinion. So please call us and feel free to call in and let us know what your opinion is on this topic. What should they be doing? What shouldn't they be doing? So Cheryl, I can start the ball rolling off right with you. What do you think the government should be doing? Just give me one thing you think you think they should be doing.
Well, they should be making legislation. Yes, adjusting laws. Some laws that we have on the book are antiquated or outdated. So they should be adjusting laws to fit here and now and how things would have changed. And they should also be making new laws so that the country can run right and that the rights of the citizens are protected. So that's number one. They should be taking care of our resources, whether it's natural resources, whether it's human resources. They should be ensuring that education is in its, well, not just legislation as it relates to education, but protecting education, ensuring that citizens are educated. And I guess based on the constitution of our country, which tells us that all Bahamians should be educated, has the right to education, making sure that happens, and quality education, and that's accessible to all persons.
Agreed. So you said legislation. Do you have one in mind that you think they need to amend, address, bring
well, I know
up to
we
date?
mentioned a lot of them. We talk about the Bail Act that needs to be adjusted. We've been talking about we talked about the last 2 weeks. I'm having Jason senior citizens moments, but the sex offenders registry, public sex offenders registry that we need, that is not law. And just a number of things to ensure that our rights as citizens are protected. Now, we know some of the things that the government is doing, and a lot of times I don't think that we have the correct forum. We have necessary forums where we can have these discussions with persons who can answer the questions. I think a lot of times the only times we get to talk to persons, it's around now when it's almost time for election and they come and they tell us what they're doing.
Yes.
We ask some questions and they make promises. But during the course of, and I guess there are some town hall meetings, we're not very good at attending them. I know there's one tonight, there's another, and tomorrow night. I think these 3 days they're having town hall meetings, but I'm not interested in what they're having the meetings about, because it's about the registry, parliamentary registration, the adjustments that have been made. I don't care about that, because you only want to educate me now because you're going to get something out of it. You think you're going to get something out of it. but I think too often we don't get to have conversations with our representatives as to what they need to be doing and what they are doing in our country.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It seemed as if they're giving us this perception of giving us a voice by starting to have these town hall meetings, right?
Right.
Because as of late, I've been seeing some notices about some happening around town. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older. I've been now seeing these, or they just now implementing them.
Right.
But you mentioned I think you're quite right. They're having a town hall meeting, but it's on voting.
Exactly.
But okay, I know how
cares?
to vote. Yeah. I mean, some people care, right? We may won't be that cool, right? But some
I
people care,
don't.
right? I don't know, but I should maybe have attended one or two to see what the message is behind voting, because
Well, it's tomorrow at Bishop Michael Allen Hall auditorium. So
Okay.
the one for our area, because I know tomorrow night they're having that. Tonight is in 8 Mile Rock, and they're having in the different communities. So the one for our region is tomorrow night.
so and I wonder
But-
what they're discussing, because
Yeah.
voting, what they tell us how to vote, what the
No, I think
registration.
they're doing biometrics voting system.
So they're
They're
updating it.
changing. Yes, they're updating it,
Okay.
and there have been adjustments to the Registration Act. They want to avail us with information about that.
Okay, cool. So right, yeah. So and guys out there, if you guys feel that the government, I just want to put this question to you all, call in and tell us what you think they're doing right, and where you think they need to improve. Which laws or policies, legislation they need to address, to bring up to date what's behind. It's not in keeping with our modern times. So if you have any ideas or comments, concerns, feel free to call us in 352-8255, 352-8255, or drop us a comment in the chat. And like you said, we'll read your comment off live. So I put a question out today, the same topic on WhatsApp, and I got lots of lists. I don't know what I opened up because it was very exhaustive. I couldn't get all the points. Some people wrote me a whole epistle on what they think should be done. So I tried at my best to summarize it as what they're saying, because our question is, governments, what should they be responsible for and what shouldn't they be responsible for? And of course, with our voting public, some of them want the government officials to be their father, their mothers, their
Nurse,
lovers,
doctor.
everything, because they want them to pay their rent.
Oh, wow.
They want them to
When will they be running the country?
right, give them a job, pay their light bill, put grocery in their homes, and
Right.
attend funerals, attend certain events they're having. And if their minister can't appear or appease them on those little requests just now they don't want to vote for them. So
Wow. Yes, that
that's-
is true.
that is
true.
so sad that you reduce their
Yes.
responsibilities, such
To
little
that,
menial
yeah.
acts,
Yes.
things that we should
As
be
your
responsible
personal
for.
minion.
Right.
I agree. And sadly, but guess what, Jason? Some of them started out that way.
Yes.
Some of them started out that way. And actually they use it as a platform
Yep.
to say, I am with you. I was there with you. I went to this and I've been there. Y'all could see me.
Right.
But I don't need to see you if I can see what you are doing.
Exactly.
And I think that's a very important thing. We need to see what you are doing. I need to see you running the
Yes.
country. I don't need you at funerals and weddings and stuff in my
Right.
community. I need to see you running my country. I need to
Correct.
see you where unemployment is going down.
Yes.
I need to see where more Bahamians have access to homes, low-cost
Yes.
homes, for affordable homes for persons, good quality but affordable
Yes.
homes for more persons in the Bahamas. We need to see the fact that, and I'm happy with our education, where our education is going in the Bahamas, where we're now providing free education, free university education for our Bahamian children. And I think that's an excellent thing. And we are, as a matter of fact, we're up there with the rest of the Caribbean countries
So
where that is concerned.
So free, you mentioned it before. I think we talked about the show before, but what are the criteria for obtaining this free education?
Well, of course, everything has to have criteria. And I think you have to have BGCSE, CPAS in BGCSE subjects, at least, I think, 3. math and language, and I think is two of those that you're required to have a CPAS.
And once you have that-
However, if you don't, you can do what is called college prep, where you have to pay, of course,
Right.
and be able to qualify after that if
So,
you pass those
if
subjects.
you pass the college prep classes, is the college education now free for you?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Awesome. And they have to apply for this and be granted it, or
Yes,
just
you-
the mere fact that you met the prerequisites and you're a Bahamian citizen.
I cannot.
Not so sure?
I'm not
Okay.
sure on it, so I don't.
So
wanna
if
say,
anybody
but
has
yes,
that
there is a-
information,
yes.
please drop in the chat or call us and let us know, and we'll try to get the information for you for the next show. So, like I said, I put my little feelers out there to get what people think the government should be responsible for, and a lot of them echoed some of the things you were saying, like housing and education and healthcare. So it's like provide employment opportunities by attracting businesses, industries, or investors that are good for the country as a whole.
Yes.
Now, I'm wondering if successive governments have been successful in doing that. Because we've had quite a few investors that come, and then we're only speaking from Grand Bahama specifically, because Nassau
Right.
just seems to get all the good ones.
That's true.
So Grand Bahama has had investors that came in, and it doesn't seem like they're doing too well. So, I mean, I don't know how you would grade the government on and attracting investors and businesses for Grand Bahama to help us in our economy. What grade would you give them?
I don't want to be unfair to, well, if just
Let's
of
do
face
all the
value-
governments. Let's
of
do
face
all the governments
value,
together.
I
Let's
would
not
say,
regulate it to
of
one or
face
the other.
value, I would say an F.
Yeah.
Of face value, I would say an F. And not only that, even with, I want to say to protect skilled Bahamians, protect their opportunities for skilled Bahamians, because I see a lot of non-Bahamians who come to the country and they're doing things that Bahamians can do.
Yes.
And I think it is a law in the books, but I don't think that that law is allowed to be executed, where you have to advertise for positions, and if there is no qualified Bahamian, then and only then can you employ someone who is a non-Bahamian, or they can get a work permit to do that. But I see many non-Bahamians who are doing things that Bahamians
Yes,
can do.
I agree.
So I don't think the skill or the opportunities of the Bahamian is protected in that regard.
Now, that could be a double-edged sword, right? Because one might say they do advertise the positions, but they put it in the newspaper. Who reads newspapers now, right? But technically, they put it out there. So it's up to us and the government to make sure we hold them accountable, but then we also
Exactly.
do our job, due diligence, to make sure we're doing all we can to secure these positions as well. Because we shouldn't be expecting them to just
We
come
have
and
newspapers
knock down
in-
our doors to
We have newspaper in Grand Bahama. We still do. I mean, there's really,
we do, but it
that's a
comes.
real
I think
question.
it comes. It does come. It
Freeport
comes from
News, yeah?
Nassau. I don't know if the Freeport News still
Or the
exists.
Tribune.
The Tribune and Guardian, I think they're fluent and it's distributed.
Yes, I've
But
seen the Tribune.
what they call it? When I forget the form of media when they call it newspapers. That's a dying thing right now.
Right.
It's
Paper,
almost
yeah.
dead. It's completely dead. It's only the older crew who still use that.
Right.
Everybody's
'Cause you
on
can
these
get it on your
devices.
phone.
Right.
And you can get the newspaper classifieds and those on your phone.
Right. So technically, they may be saying they are advertising it, but are they advertising
believe
the
it.
way we
Exactly.
accessible to us? You know?
Yes.
So
Maybe they do it in very.
so providing, they said the government should provide employment opportunities. So the next one is keep the cost of living down. Groceries, utilities, housing, all of those attribute to high cost of living.
Right.
Can.
Right.
And it affects our quality of living, because if those are high, where that leaves us.
Increase minimum wage.
Yeah. Okay.
Make life affordable for the average person, because if you look at the rate of inflation, minimum wage should be up there based on inflation.
Yes, it should increase.
So
It should increase.
It should increase with inflation. So how is that possible?
Right. So now, again, a double-edged sword, because if you increase minimum wage, businesses.
then yes, you will
you
have
know,
that. Yes.
I can't
Well,
see
the
them.
government will have to subsidize with small business owners. They're going to have to subsidize. They have lots of money to subsidize with because I see them giving it to their friends.
Okay, there we go. See, proper management,
Exactly.
because they're collecting a whole heap of VAT. What are they? If we
Thank
come back to
you.
this question again, what are they doing with this VAT money? You know, because they're taxing us, and are they putting it back to us? Because they say they're taxing us to help us. But what are they using? How can they justify helping us? What are they using to justify that they're helping us? So if you can take my money, where my money? What are you using it for? Because minimum wage barely went up, but everything else is
Everything
rising.
else went up.
And
Yes.
VAT, they're still collecting on VAT. They ain't stopped collecting that.
No, and if you look at tax on the things that are being taxed, you know, you find that middle class, lower class persons are paying more taxes than people who are making the money who
Yep.
can afford to pay the tax.
And those who can afford to pay the tax, actually, businesses get their VAT money back.
Yes.
They file for it and get it back. It's
Right.
just us who paying the tax. So
Right.
businesses ain't losing.
Exactly.
So how is that even fair now? So it seems like they're trying to get rid of the middle class, but that's always been their plot. Because if you get rid of the middle class, now you increase the dependency on governments.
But that is crazy because we don't collect enough tax. We create a social issue.
Yeah.
Then crime will increase. What are you going to do? You definitely will create. If you increase the lower class, you are creating a social issue.
And you increase, but
Where will
in
the money
their
come
eyes-
from?
In their eyes, you're
Rent
now more
allowance,
depend-
food allowance,
you're more
food
dependent
stamps,
now on
where will
governments.
that come from?
You're more
Exactly.
dependent on governments, and that could be how they secure votes. If I'm agreeing to give you handouts, you're gonna vote on me. So if I create a problem, and then I
So try to fix the problem.
All right.
Well, I mean that's how we started. That's exactly 50 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we should be far removed from that now, Jason.
But that's what I'm saying. They're trying to go back there. It's because middle class is what actually drives a country. It keeps a country flowing.
Yes.
It's the middle class, but they don't want that. The rich, they don't want the haves. The haves want to continue having and keep the have-nots begging.
Good little, right.
So, okay, so the next is education and healthcare, and you touched on that as well. So what I'm reading off here now are points that from when I put it out, questions,
Okay.
right? So these are in no way order. It's just this is the order I took it down. So the education and healthcare. So we need a skilled workforce. Because the more skilled we are, the better any country is. The more we won't need any foreign labor.
Right.
But again, that might go against their plans. And I ain't saying who they is, but it kind of goes against their MO, their whole plot. Because an educated workforce isn't a dependent workforce. And if I'm not dependent on you, I'm now more or less going to hold you accountable.
And it makes you an independent thinker.
Yes.
Independent thinkers, these are people who change the politics in the country.
Correct.
They change the government
Correct.
of the country. But I must say too, though, I think we are making headways even regarding education. We have BTVI now that's offering a larger variety of courses of skilled areas for persons. You have the National Training Agency that has taken on a larger role as it relates to training Bahamians and preparing them for the workforce. And even in Nassau, not just Grand Bahama, Nassau. I'm happy as to what's happening in Grand Bahama with BTVI, but I think that we definitely have come a far way where that is concerned, training persons and even encouraging. You have a small business development that's taking on. You have a lot more Bahamians who are becoming entrepreneurs and are taking pride in it. They're not just doing things from their homes now.
Right.
People are, renting spaces and they are really taking pride into starting their own businesses and making it work.
Awesome. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm spirit leading you because it segues into what I'm going to say, right?
Okay.
And education. I feel, and you let me know if you feel differently, that we should be educating our children, not just in math and reading and writing, but in also investing how to spend money and not just saving it. Because, Saving is good,
Right.
but investing is the next step above saving because you could save your money and then do what with it?
Yes,
know?
exactly, and especially now saving it. We are now it's saving in money in the bank is the same way as putting it on your mattress because there
Yes.
aren't any interest rates on your savings
Actually,
accounts.
let me correct you.
Unless
It's cheaper to put it under your mattress.
you
'Cause
don't
they can
pay a service
they-
charge.
they charging you to keep your money.
just to keep it in. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then they can charge you to
Exactly.
go access it.
Yes, that is true.
And they
That is
charge people
true.
to borrow your money,
And you
16%.
get nothing from it.
And you get nothing from it, maybe 0.5%. So they charge somebody 16% to borrow your money. And then only going to give you 0.5%.
Who gives you 0.5%?
That's how you. I don't know.
I don't get that
know.
from any of these banks. I think the only place
No.
it's at the credit unions in a
Credit
share
union
account.
may do
Or you get that
1%.
0.5 if you put it in a fixed account.
And then they have to be
you
a certain
have
amount.
zero access to your funds
Right.
for what, 6 months to a year, depending on what the terms are. So that's ridiculous.
That's crazy. That's me telling you to hold my phone. No, I'm holding your phone at a fee.
You're
I
charging.
turn and I turn around and lend it to somebody else at a
and
higher
you
fee.
get some money from it. Yeah.
But you have no access to this because you're
Exactly.
paying me to keep your money, but I lend it. That's crazy.
if you do it on a regular basis, that could be illegal.
Yeah.
But they get to do it.
But see, and that right there is another thing I think government should be responsible for. Looking out for the welfare of
the people,
the
yeah.
people economy, because what these banks are doing is criminal.
It has
It
to be.
it is criminal. Just for the mere fact that you're charging me what you're charging me, and you're not giving me a decent rate on my savings, and then when it comes to borrowing and then paying back, and then they have their monies insured,
Right.
and they have the assets they insured because they'll give you a certain amount of money to buy your home. You
Yes.
get almost ready to pay it off, and because it isn't paid off, you fall back. They could come and take your home. They already got their money.
Money, yes.
But they could take them. And there's no recourse for us because
That's true.
we didn't read or we're not educated enough to see the fine print in the contract that they
Right.
have us sign when we're so happy to get this bunch of money.
That's true.
That's our ignorance.
Because we're gullible. We're
Right.
gullible.
And it's our ignorance
That's
because
why-
we're so quick to get the money.
That's true.
So,
But that's why with those banks, any win I can get, I take it.
yeah.
For example,
don't think we
they
can win.
don't. It's a lot of simple little things. You cannot deposit at the ATM. You can't deposit US dollars. But when you
Right.
go inside to deposit it, they want to charge you $5. I said, there's no way in
Yeah.
hell I'm paying you $1 for that.
And they can charge
Because
you to borrow it, take
that's
it
a
off.
service that you don't offer at the ATM.
Right.
Because they want to charge you for things that you can do at the ATM when you go inside.
Right.
But I'm saying you don't offer that service. So I'm not paying you when I come inside to make a deposit for a service
Right.
that you don't offer at the ATM. So
Criminal.
I said, let me see the manager.
Yeah.
And there's no way. I'm not paying it. They're
Do you pay?
criminal.
What did you get away with? I mean, not get away with. What was the
I did not
outcome?
pay it.
And you was able to
I was
deposit
allowed,
it?
of course.
Okay, see, they don't want an educated public
No,
because
they don't.
then they will
can
be able to get away with what they get away with now.
And politicians do that too. They play that game.
Exactly. But guys, we've been talking a long time now. I'm sure we should be taking a commercial break. And when we get back on the other side of commercial break, we'll see if we have any comments and we'll jump right back into it. So stick around. We'll be right back.
You asked and I delivered. Island-ish is back. The podcast you guys have known to love, to like to call in, to like to interact with. We are officially back. For the ones that don't know me, this is your girl Yams. Hearing me on Mix 102.1 FM or your favorite TGF_Yams. With the 2 S's, we're back with Island-ish right here on Superior Talk. So make sure you're following the page. We're going live this Thursday, 6 p.m. Don't miss it. Follow us. It's about to get lit.
And we're back. So we have comments, but before we go into the comments, let me just do, for those who may have joined late, our topic for this evening is governments. What should or shouldn't they be responsible for? And the second part of that question is, what do you feel that they're doing right or where they need to pull up their socks? So we're jumping right into our comments.
Priska says these governments love a dependent society. That way they could throw a couple of dollars at them and then have them in their pockets. That is so true.
Very true.
That is so true.
Okay, I guess that was it.
Yes. And that is what we have been seeing.
Yeah.
We have been seeing. I think they benefit from it.
Yes.
Let me just say that they benefit from it. And when it's like that, once they would have given us a couple of dollars, a lot of us don't hold them accountable to the
Yes.
things that they planned on, they promised to do.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
Sherilyn, I think that's a part of it. I already pay you off now. Their expectancy is what we expect them is
silent.
very low.
Mm-hmm.
The bar is very low because they regulated us to depend on them so much till we can't focus on the bigger issues
Right.
because we're in such a sad state.
Mhm.
So
Yes, a lot of things. Infrastructure.
yes,
Look at the roads. I mean, we have some roads around here that have not been touched in 20 years.
yeah,
You know,
Yes.
we have the roads to the outskirts. We know the Port Authority is responsible for Freeport. But look at the areas that in Grand Bahama that the government is responsible for. Look at those roads.
you
Has
know,
anything been done to those
no,
roads?
no, it's terrible. It looks like the out islands.
Exactly.
And it's so sad, right? One of the cries here in Grand Bahama is that, the blame game get played. The government like to say, oh, it's the port what has us in this condition. The port says the government. So they pointed back
Right.
and forth, right? So I remember listening to a conversation and they saying, man, the government should just take Freeport away from the port.
You must be crazy. The port is the best thing that ever happened to Grand
Yes,
Bahama. We would
yes.
be an out island
Yes, I
if
agree.
it wasn't for the
I
Port
agree.
Authority.
I agree.
A lot of us would not find this place livable if the government,
Yes.
anyway.
Infrastructure-wise. But again, here we are. This must be the word for that, a double-edged sword, because now I'm also hearing that the port is a part of the reason why we don't attract as many investors as we can, because it's now a double taxing system. Because
Yes,
whatever
I do.
investor does come, they have to pay the port tax and they have to pay the government tax. And both
yes.
of them coming for
Yes.
their money. They coming for their change.
Right.
So whereas they can go to Nassau and have access to a bigger
Well, they can
pool.
go in one of the outskirts and not pay the port any tax. They could have companies. I mean, in
True, but the port keep expanding their reach. The port is now
it has not changed.
the port. When I remember, the port used to be as far as the bridge, and it used to be as far as Corner and Hawksbill, far as 8 Mile Rock.
Right. That's
The port now extends as far as Freetown. Now, correct me
Really?
if I'm correct me if I'm wrong. That boundary, I think, has extended up to
No, not that I know.
to at the beginning of Freetown. Not in,
I know where that is.
Yeah.
Yes. Really?
Yeah. So I was told. I could be wrong.
That's
wrong.
impossible.
I'm not going on the record
well,
saying
well, that would
Just
be the
talking.
government's problem.
Yes, the government problem.
That
the government
would
just
be
see the government wants as
somebody
little.
sleeping.
Yeah, as little responsible. The government wants as little responsible as they can, but they want to collect,
Wow.
and that's why they're happy for the port, because they get to come here and get our votes without
Doing
any
anything.
responsibility. So
But we still do have members of parliament in Grand Bahama, and they have a responsibility to do. It doesn't matter. They still have stuff to do in Grand Bahama. We have a lot that the government is responsible for and should be doing in Grand Bahama.
should do.
But I mean, even as we talk about, I see in Nassau where you have so many different subdivisions and so many persons are getting keys to homes and all of that. What is happening in Grand Bahama?
Nothing. People leaving. Our population in Grand Bahama continues to decrease because the opportunities are so low. I mean, now to be honest, I see a little ray of sunshine because it looks like the economy looks like it's bouncing back. It looks like that way. I don't have any scientific
How?
data.
And where are you
But
getting
just
this information?
Homes are
Is
being
based
built.
on what?
Homes
Based on
are
what?
being built. Some businesses, smaller businesses, are being opened. I see a little bit more people spending money. And if you could, and all this is, like I say, I have no data, but just from the feel, the energy in the air, it just feels a little.
Give me data.
A little lighter.
And Jason is talking about energy, making decisions on energy and what feelings. Give me data. When it comes to stuff like that, give me the data. The data
I agree.
speaks loudly.
I agree with you 1,000%. So
Yes.
education. So we were speaking. I think it needs to be implemented in school, taught from probably as low as primary school. Investing, saving, how to be intelligent with your money,
Yes.
and conflict resolution. Those two need to be a part of our curriculum, our education system. They have to be, because you're going to teach me how to make the money, right? And you're barely doing that. You're barely doing that.
Jason, tread lightly, please, okay?
No, listen.
Tread lightly. We've been getting along for these last couple of shows, okay?
No, but hold on, hear me out. They're barely teaching us how to make the money in schools, right? High school, I'm talking high school because they get deep into it in the college. But I feel you should prepare them for that before that. But you're not teaching them how to save, how to spend, live within your means, how to spot a good investment, what to invest in. Because sometimes people hear investment and think about, oh, let me go invest in somebody's business. You know, but that's not investing. Investing can be investing in land, property, real estate, investing in yourself.
I maintain that a lot of these things should be taught at home.
Okay, it should.
A lot of those things should be taught at home.
But look at our, okay.
We have a very, very broad curriculum in school, and an excellent curriculum that covers a vast area of what a child should know or should learn, and prepares that child adequately for further education or for life. But some things, and some of these things are covered, but a lot of these things they definitely have to be reinforced at home, Jason. They have to be reinforced at home.
Okay, I agree. Okay, Cheryl, I agree. But it should be, right? And just as people should be married, should be married, right? But before having children, let me put it like this. They should be married before having children. But we know
I guess you want
that's
that taught
not
in
where they
school
at,
too.
right? That's not where they're at. So why not do something to help those who won't have access to a parent who's more intelligent with money or conflict resolution? I agree with you 100%. These should be taught at home, but it's not being taught at home. So now what? Me and you have to deal with it. So we should help provide another avenue that can help these children when they're not being taught it at home. That's what I'm saying. I'm not putting the responsibility on the school. Definitely the responsibility for these children first and foremost falls with the parents, fathers and mothers.
Investment opportunities.
So that's what I'm saying now. It should be taught so the children know, and maybe not in primary school because they're just learning how to add and stuff, but maybe let's go into high school. Let's get rid of the Spanish and the Frenches and let that be an elective. Let that be an elective.
They are electives.
Okay.
I mean, well.
No, they're not.
They
They're
do
not.
either or.
The music,
Either
Spanish, and these things like this.
No, we have.
Those should be
our children
electives.
need to learn a second language. We are training them how to
Hold
be
on, so they
globally
don't need to
competitive.
be-
So they have to live with people in the rest of the world.
Okay, so, and investing isn't up there with learning a second language? Let's get at it now.
Can you teach your children Spanish and French at home?
No.
Good. So you teach them how to invest, and we'll.
But I don't know how to invest at home either. Because
Really?
I grew up spending from hand to mouth. I don't know what the sport and opportunity. I mean, the sport and investment opportunity. I don't know how to save because I don't even have the opportunity to save. So I can't teach them that.
We can't teach them everything.
I know, but
There's
Cheryl, I'm saying
we
there's
can't
some
teach them
things
everything.
that should be taught.
It's in there, and it's in specific areas
Right.
of the curriculum, but that cannot be a core area.
Why I'm saying,
And as a matter of fact, investing is taught in math.
Cheryl,
Interest rates and all of those things are covered in math
compound interest rates and all.
school.
Yes, but
See, you remember some stuff.
no, it's not. That's not. That's
Excellent.
part of.
I'm so
that's a
proud
part
of you, Jason. I'm so proud. You
But
just
what I'm saying
proved-
is, just how, because I remember now, it might have changed up. Forgive me for straying, guys, but I wanted to touch on this. I remember Spanish was a core. That was an elective.
Spanish or French, yes.
Music
It is a
was
core.
core, right?
It's an
Art
elective now.
was core.
Elective.
All of those were taught from me from grade 7. Those things like basic skills like cooking and
Elective.
those were electives. I think they should flip it. Let the Spanish and the French and the music and the art, let those be electives, and let's start teaching the investment, how to save, and because everybody has to invest at their life, some point in their life. Everybody has to save at some point in their life. Not everybody has to speak Spanish or French or learn another language. Not everybody, even though I was taught art, I'm okay with it. Not everybody can sing. So it just needs to be looked at differently.
When you go to the town hall meeting, you can let them
Yeah,
know
I
we're
bring it
part
up
of
right here
so
where I
yes.
have this platform now. So yeah. So moving right along, we went a little long on that one there. So
You did.
okay, healthcare. Did we touch on healthcare? Government
didn't.
has
Oh
to
my
be
gosh.
has to be responsible for healthcare.
Yes.
They have to be healthcare for the country,
For
country
healthcare.
because a sick country is no good to nobody.
Exactly.
So we
I
need,
think, yes, and that's something that there's some things that the government cannot compromise on. It should be the top of their list. Like you said, healthcare, safety, education.
yes, definitely.
Those things should be the
Yes.
top, at the top of
along with immigration.
you
yes.
know,
Well, that comes
yes,
with safety.
Yes,
Go ahead.
yes, definitely. But healthcare, definitely. And it's appalling. It's appalling, some of the stories and some of the pictures that I would have seen, you know, our major hospital in our city, when we had buckets in the hospital catching
Wow.
water. It's really disgusting.
Yes, very,
It's really
very so.
disgusting.
It's sad.
I
to
don't
know
think
the
that, I
state
hope
that
that's
we're
not the
in.
case anymore.
No, I don't think so because I had the opportunity to walk through it since they did their
The
it's
renovations.
Nice. It's nice, right?
But it
It's
was
nice.
like that for a very,
yes,
very
yes,
long time.
Yes, but
During the time when politicians were getting raises.
yes, during the time when we had 5 sitting MPs from one government and that government was in power.
Yes.
So I don't know. Successive governments has failed us. They've done some things. They have not been complete failures,
Yeah.
but they've failed us. And healthcare, that needs to be paramount. You know, taking care of its citizens. We need to be modernized because we
Yes.
got to keep up with the rest of the world.
Absolutely.
We shouldn't be in the bush. We shouldn't look like bush people, for lack of a better term, you know. Some of our procedures or how we used to handle things were, you were wondering if you were watching movies from the 80s, how they used to handle things. Like you were talking about the buckets and sadly enough, I hope this has been corrected, but surgeons here in Grand Bahama, you know, if we need a major surgery, they got to fly one in. They have to fly a surgeon in. I'm not going to call a specific area, but for the most part,
Or, yeah.
if we have
Or fly you out.
3, right, yeah, right, fly you out. If we have 3 major accidents, oh my God, we may be able to address one.
Yeah.
And then we try to patch the person and tell somebody else could come and help. We in a sad state. So these things what we're bringing up, guys, these are stuff we hoping that it sticks with you so when the MP stands before you, you remember this and be like, what about this? What about healthcare? What about education? What about immigration? What about security?
Right.
You know, what about investment opportunities? You know, what about our economy? So these things need to be addressed. They need to be in your forefront when they come looking for your vote.
Right.
So
And a lot of us don't know the dire straits that we are in a lot of these areas because we have never been put into the situation.
correct.
You know, so we really don't know. And for persons who don't have to go to the RAND unless you have an emergency. If you have an emergency in the night, everybody
Oh,
has to go to the RAND.
Everybody.
It doesn't matter how.
One-stop shop.
Right. Exactly.
You have to go there.
Exactly. But
And-
but the average person who can get health care from a private facility does not, it can't relate to some of what you're saying.
Yes, correct. And like they say, you're one cookout away. We one cookout away. Eh?
Wow.
That's so sad. But that's
is
the truth, the reality.
Yes. Harsh truth.
Wow. So our governments has to be responsible for providing proper health care for their citizens. Security. That's the policing now. And for all of these professions that we're talking about, the teachers are number 1, healthcare professionals number 2, and policing. Policing, and I guess all these would be 3. I shouldn't number them. Those professionals need to be paid top dollar. Teachers, healthcare, police. That's who educate. That's the future. The teachers, the future. The healthcare keep us healthy,
Right.
and the police or our law enforcement keep us safe. So the governments cannot afford to compromise in these areas.
These areas, yeah.
So they should. I feel if they keep them well paid, treat them well, then we'd attract the best. and then we'd be in a better position. You know, police officers, you've heard stories about these police doing these nefarious things, these things to I don't know if it's greed or they're not being paid enough or whatever it is, but the police aren't policing. They're doing the wrong thing. And you wonder why.
Yeah.
Are we attracting the right kind, or are they put in such desperate positions that they feel they have to do these things to make a living?
I don't know what police officers make.
Right.
I know that I don't think it requires a lot to become a police officer.
But it should. They're carrying guns. They have a right to uphold the law, and sometimes they can abuse that law. So it should be a lot for them to become police officers.
Well, I don't think so.
Not any Joe Blow should be able to.
Well,
in
I've seen a lot of Joe Blows.
I've seen a lot of Blows.
I don't think the IQ level requires that much either.
And not just the IQ level, their mental ability. Some of them are ticking time bombs. Like they would
Absolutely.
they would come police because they were bullied in school. So now
Right.
they have a chip on their shoulder.
Right,
And they have something to prove now.
right. But I'm sure they have to do a psych evaluation. But
Yeah. Okay.
yes,
And-
I
and-
can't
and-
speak more.
Right. Okay. And I guess our laws should go along with security, or is that a separate topic, or the like the courts?
It's
That's
separate.
that's
Yeah,
separate.
that's definitely separate.
So government should be. So I guess I'll come under creating policies and legislation and enforcement of that, and that's an area that they should be responsible for. That's another area that they can't afford to compromise on, because that should be beefed up. You want the brightest minds and the best minds.
But do you know? I mean, a lot of laws have been created. Are we aware of the law? I don't think we educate ourselves
No.
on the laws. I was listening to something regarding that, and there were a number of new laws. There are a number of new laws on the books between the last two governments. But I don't think we really inform ourselves on this.
You think that's by design, or that's laziness from us? Because
I think
some
it's
laws
laziness
aren't
on our part.
some laws aren't beneficial to us.
Right.
So they would want those laws to slip by.
They're not publicized, so yes. The only thing we make noise about, we talked about the referendum for days.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah, the
because
sissy and the sissies.
exactly. Anytime it comes to things that we can sensationalize,
Yes.
if it deals with immigration, because we are so xenophobic. So our entire
Yes,
culture.
yes.
So anytime it comes to anything to do with
Yeah,
immigration,
immigration
and
and
then
sexuality,
homosexuality,
and then the money.
and then money. Anything outside of that,
We don't care about it.
we don't care.
No. So we have a comment from our good friend Priska.
Priska says this country has some of the best nurses and teachers, but successive governments refuse to pay them their worth, so they continue to leave in droves.
I agree.
And that is true.
I agree.
There's a mass exodus of nurses
And teachers.
teachers.
Yes, I agree with Priska.
See, we're now outsourcing nurses and teachers from other countries, especially teachers. We are.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always done that, but it's worse now that we have so many schools that are lacking teachers in
Yes.
specific areas.
Right. And that's, again, because they're not being paid well. And like we mentioned before, teachers and nurses and law enforcement, they should be some among the highest paid
Yes.
professions in the country, so that we can keep the teachers happy and the other nurses and professions happy, because those are the ones who we rely on to actually keep this country going.
Right.
So let's see if we have any more comments. Oh, we have another comment.
Glendina says, our police force has suffered systemic failures from the Bahamas started in hiring mainly Bahamians. The country is too small and everyone knows someone there. Yes.
Okay, I was
Take
wondering where
shortcuts
she's
for
going.
them.
I
That
was
is
wondering where she's going. That's
true.
true. That is so true.
Yes.
But what could do to try to alleviate that a bit is probably.
But she's saying, and I don't know of any country that hires not
Foreigners.
persons who are not citizens, foreigners for the police force.
Right, and because that could be a double-edged sword again.
Exactly,
Because you might
definitely.
hire
That's a
somebody
big
from a
compromise.
different country who has a chip against. So next thing you know, their
Right.
citizens are being abused by these
Exactly.
because they
But
don't.
I know what we do now. We do have police moving from their home. Maybe that's something we can get.
That's what I was
police
about to
officers
say.
Move out of their home
And switch them
island
to different islands.
and serve in different areas. But if somebody is, I forget the word that we use. You can't really move them. They have their home and whatever. You know, there are certain stipulations. People have families. Glendina says, no, hun, the nurses suck. Just went to the hospital Friday, got a reminder. Patients falling off the beds, 3 nurses at the desk, just unbothered.
Oh, wow.
And this is Nassau.
That's Nassau?
Yeah, that is Nassau.
Yeah, I heard
So,
some horror
wow.
stories. I heard
It's
some horror
really
stories,
awful.
but PMH.
Yes.
I heard some.
Yes. Some might, we can't say a lot on the air. We might get sued. Our police force started with officers from other Caribbean countries. Bahamians weren't hired initially. Oh, that's what Glendina is saying.
Oh,
That our police
I
force
think they
started
did have
from
some
other
like
countries.
some
I may have heard something
Barbadians
like that as well.
and some. I remember Barbados. Oh, it was a Guyanese.
I know
Yeah.
we started off with a lot of teachers from other countries as well. British teachers, Canadian teachers. Remember when you went to 8 Mile Rock High
No.
when we used to ride the camels? You had a lot of foreign teachers, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Expats and we
Yes,
still got a few
Caribbean,
knocking around,
Jamaican, Guyanese,
Yeah.
Yes.
British. Yeah.
British,
yeah,
Canadians,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Back in the day.
Mhm.
But I guess we had to do what we had to do.
Yes, but I think there's a certain pride with walking into these places and seeing Bahamians.
Yes.
I think yes, we have to definitely educate our citizens, and we have to be the majority in these
Of
areas.
course, Cheryl, like you said, it hurts to see
Mm-hmm.
foreigners fill in positions that Bahamians can fill.
Absolutely.
It's supposed to be us first. Not
Right.
xenophobic, but us first.
Right.
A man's supposed to take care of his home first, and then you look out to charity and all that stuff. Right?
However, when we do that, we're supposed to do it with such pride that we have to do it better.
Yes, of
the
course.
quality shouldn't fall because someone else is doing
right,
it.
right.
And what you find out, Jason, I hate to compare, but what you find out is with that when you have expats coming in, because the stakes were different, they were held accountable for what they did, and there was a certain level of respect or fear, or healthy fear that okay, I'm in a different country, I'm
Right.
being watched.
So I have to
My
perform.
contract, I needed to be renewed, so I
have to perform, yes.
A Bahamian is totally different.
No
I
fail.
home.
Yeah, no fail.
Yeah. And my auntie in Treasury anyway.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
what
yeah,
y'all
yeah,
can
yeah,
do?
yeah.
I
What
could
you can
stay
do?
home half the year.
You want
and
me to call the
sadly,
minister? You want me to call the
Thank
minister?
you very much.
Mhm.
And
It's been
everybody
done.
who knows somebody, just like Glendina said, everybody who knows somebody who has some power, and we find that, sadly, we are the worst for our very own people.
Agreed.
Other people come here and do better in
Agreed.
those same areas, nursing, education, than our very own Bahamian people.
That's sad. And so I guess we'll touch on that when we wrap it up, right?
Should we be having a commercial break?
Well,
Jason,
man,
you have
we-
something against commercial breaks?
Do we need to take a commercial? So we'll take a commercial
Please.
break and be right back after these quick commercial messages.
Where you going, mate?
To go buy these tickets for the party tonight.
Why this boy so dumb?
Tickets242.com.
You know how hard it is.
They sell tickets for parties.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jason.
I'm Flynn Doxson from Nose Witness News, reporting live from Sniper Paintball City. We're here with the manager, and he's going to tell us a little about what they have to offer.
Daddy, I got this at Sniper Paintball. We have paintball, cornhole, mini golf, batting cage.
Strike!
That's not a strike.
So come on down every Saturday and Sunday to Sniper Paintball City, located next to Crosstown, where you and the family can have a great time.
See you at Sniper.
So welcome back. We're talking government. What should they do and what shouldn't they be doing? What are their responsibilities? And let us know if you think they're doing a good job or what area they're doing a good job in or where they need to pull up their socks. So we've been listed off a number of things that the government should be doing. What they're responsible for: healthcare, education, security, economic opportunities, and immigration,
Definitely protecting our borders.
protecting our borders, who's coming in, who they allow to come in. We've heard horror stories of passports
Yes.
being shown up and foreigners' possession who can't speak a lick of English
Yes.
and finding out that the passport was a legit passport. How is that possible? How is that possible? I know when I had to get my passport for my children,
What you
they
had
almost
to
had to
go
pull
through.
teeth. I had to pull teeth to
Exactly.
get that. My
They
daddy
need
find my
your
daddy.
mommy's maiden name and
Daddy
your
been
daddy's
dead
this
long
and-
time. I gotta find his
Exactly.
birth certificate.
Thank
If
you.
they were married and all this stuff.
Yes.
How?
Yeah.
How? And I have a passport. My wife have a passport, but we gotta go through all. I gotta get my parents'
Exactly.
stuff, papers
Yeah.
to get passport for them.
Yes.
How?
Sad. There should be some serious charges. Some
Yes.
Serious.
That's criminal. That's
Exactly.
treason, eh?
Exactly.
That's treason.
That's worse.
So why is it so hush hush? Why are we in here? And I heard
Mm-hmm.
a few people from the immigration department got fired. No, it needs to go beyond that.
No, exactly.
Need
I'm
to go
sure
beyond that.
charges have been pressed against these persons. And I think that's what. But usually, as you know, you don't usually see the follow up. What happens
Right.
after in a number of these cases and cases that we would have mentioned in shows prior to this.
Right.
As to we don't ever see what happens or find out what happens
Because again,
after.
and I'm gonna preempt what I want to say at the end of the show. Because of us, our lack of accountability within ourselves. We won't point the problem out, but we don't want
Yeah.
to help fix it. So it's us. We just like to sit down and yap and talk, and when it's time to call the arms, call to action, that's Cheryl them job. That's Jason's job. I like my job. I don't want to lose my
Yeah.
job, so I don't want them label me. I don't want them blackball me.
Right.
So I can let them who like to talk, let them go there and do this. No, these things happening because they know. They say give them 13 days.
Yeah.
On to the new story. We ain't gonna remember this no more. We ain't gonna remember the young girl who was raped by her brother. We ain't gonna remember the illegal with the passport. We ain't gonna remember the MP who stole all the money or give position to his lover. We ain't gonna remember this. We ain't gonna remember this because another story can come up.
Exactly.
Sabaz can run and go pave some road and we can forget all about it.
Exactly.
So they know and they play into this. So that's our fault. That's our fault. So yeah. So immigration, they should be responsible for the immigration. And what's another one? Guys, I'm just take notes from what my question I put out earlier.
Right.
Price control. Is there such a thing?
Does that even exist? That does not exist in the Bahamas.
Right. You just put any
I mean,
price
there's
on
an
it.
there's an office somewhere with some people sitting down doing something.
Right. But they
Yeah.
ain't got no teeth. Or
Exactly.
do they have teeth and don't use them? What is it? What do you
They
think?
can't have. I don't think they have any teeth. What's gonna happen?
Wow.
Grand Bahama alone. When you look at
Yes.
the prices of these things,
Yes, it's ridiculous.
it's crazy.
The cost of living is high. You're barely getting paid anything, and then you gotta eat.
Exactly. But I always advocate for persons to shop at home.
Right.
Because we have to keep the money
Here,
at home.
right.
But when I look, you go online and you see something, you can get something for $20, and you get it here $72.
$72.
for the same item.
Cheryl, I can give you a real.
It's ridiculous.
I'll give you a real example. A car part. They charge $200 for this part here. You want to get it because you want your car on the road.
Right.
You go online, you see that exact same part, $50. Wow. Your shipper only charging you maybe $50 to bring that
Bring
in.
it in.
That, mind you, that's 100% markup, right? But it's
Right.
still $100 less than getting it here.
Exactly.
You don't think I can get it from away?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why wouldn't I get that from
I'll wait the week and get it from
Exactly.
away. Exactly.
Why
That's
not?
what I say. That's what I say.
But in the businesses here, their defense, are they able to drop their prices any lower?
Yes, they can drop the prices.
think so?
low. Number one, because they're buying in bulk.
Okay.
So the item that's costing us $20 is costing them $10.
Okay. And,
Well,
and what about
and they're
shipping
bringing in
shipping and
the
business
shipping,
license and
yes, yes, they can.
paying their staff
Yes,
and
they
keeping the
can.
lights on at their building
Yes,
and,
they
and all
can.
that stuff. You feel
Yes,
it's
they
still-
can. And don't
Okay.
I shouldn't have to pay your whole staff of my one item that I'm trying to buy. You understand? You
Right.
have to. No, it's highway robbery.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. But I'm not gonna lie. Some businesses out here,
They're doing,
I-
some are
I'm
doing
telling you,
okay. It's not all
cost
bad
right,
with everyone.
cost right. I want my cut. Cost right. Me, it's cheaper to shop home. When
Yes,
for certain it's
definitely.
cheaper to shop home.
Yes, definitely.
For groceries.
Yeah.
When you go to cost right, you pay these things. Even sometimes. Let me stop calling names. 'cause
Yes,
they ain't
calling
paying.
names.
I'm not calling some
If you
stores.
want to call names,
y'all
I'm
go
going to
there-
call
yeah,
names.
yeah.
Express
No.
is pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
A lot of
That's
items.
right.
Express.
So y'all go there and find out y'all do your own shopping round
Yes.
and tell these people start paying us for commercial. We ain't calling out no more
That's
names.
true. That's right.
But yeah, it's price control is a serious thing because some people out there are just the local electrical company. They have no competition, so they can charge whatever they want.
Yes.
You know, the phone companies they have competition, so they have to compete there.
Right.
So they almost regulate themselves.
And it's not. Yeah. Exactly. I don't see the difference between the two now.
Right.
Anyway, when the new ones started, you could have seen some difference. But now you really can't see the difference.
Speed ain't
Even
no
the
better than
service
quality.
is just getting just
geez.
as bad.
Oh, jeez. See, why wouldn't you say the service getting just as good rather than service getting just as bad?
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have said the service is getting just the same. Sorry, Jason. Is your toe okay? Are you all right?
Hey, listen, once we're talking about school, we can be all right, you know. Yeah.
Exactly. Always coming from me. Don't worry.
So responsibilities of the government. So, okay, immigration, price control, social
Everything.
services.
Run the darn country.
Run the country. But they can't do everything. They could look at it from a air view, but they shouldn't get hands-on in it, eh?
What are you talking about?
Like, provide me with the opportunity to get a job, but don't give me the job. That's what I
Yes,
mean.
that's
So
running
provide
the
all-
country, providing
Right.
opportunities.
You say
for
do
people.
everything. You say do everything.
No, I said run the country.
Okay,
That's
I thought I heard you say
everything as it
everything.
relates to running the country.
Oh,
And don't
so
get
we
in
just-
people's personal. You don't have
Yeah.
to get in people's
So
personal
we
lives.
just listing off what is everything
and
then.
state that too.
Yeah.
You know.
So one commenter said, governance comes from God, so we should be governing according to God. But since we don't do it His way, that's why we're failing. That's why government's successfully failing, because we're getting further and further away from God. Governments are doing the best with what they have. That's what they end up. But
That's
what
a
they
lie.
have, they're doing the best
That's
with
a
what
lie.
they have.
They're not doing the best.
No, I don't think they're doing the best.
They're not doing the best.
No, not the best. They're doing something just to keep us quiet,
Right.
but they're not doing the best. I agree with you.
And they are, and I think too, some persons, what's the saying? The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
Well, yeah.
Right. Some persons are making noise. There's some communities that are advocating for things. There's some people who are in the ears of the politician, or whenever they get opportunities, they say. So those persons are getting what they need.
Right.
But you have a lot of other areas. We're not holding them accountable, and so nothing is happening.
And I think if an MP is smart, when this one person come to you asking you for this one specific thing, they should do it for everybody. So if one person comes crying, say they can't find a job, okay, don't get that job for that one person. Go try to create a business or something
Right.
that it more or less deals with more than one person. So that when you look back, you can now say, oh, I didn't just get Cheryl a job.
Yeah.
I got Cheryl's community
Right.
a job. That it looks better for you. And it shows that you're doing your job, what we voted for you for.
Right.
Because I didn't vote for you me. I didn't vote for you to look out for me, for Jason Lord.
Right.
I vote for you because I want you to look out for my community, my
Because-
island, and my country. That's what I voted for you for.
Because even with the sitting MPs in Grand Bahama, there's financial allotments for their constituents monthly.
Yes.
So what is happening in
With
those
that money,
areas?
right?
What is happening with that money?
So see, that's where, again,
And they do have constituency offices. Maybe we need to go around and ask them what
I
have
was
they
just
done in
about to
these
say-
communities.
I was about to say, Cheryl, that's
And-
our responsibility for our constituency to go out and find out, hey, I understand that you get $15,000 a month for my community. What are you doing with that $15,000? Let me see receipts, because I should have access to that. And if you
And
can't give me that,
you don't even have to. You can say, okay, we build this or we did that, and I should be able to see what it is.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, ask, I want to see the receipts.
You can see what is being done.
Right, don't tell me so I could go find out, because don't tell me you build this and you do that. And I don't want to hear you pay this one rent. I don't want to hear you buy this one, watch your replace. I don't want to hear that. Because, bro, we can have a problem. We can have a problem.
I'm sure they're audited, so they can't. The money. I'm sure there are line items that they can't spend it for. So
right, but
I'm sure they're audited.
Maybe those who ask these questions are the ones who's going to get this handle, because those are the ones who are going to hold them accountable.
Well, I'll be going to ask these questions.
Yeah,
so
we
when
need
I
to.
get my handout, I'll come back and let you know.
So we're going to go into our wrap up, but before we wrap up, one of the commenters said it's hard running a country that's made up of an archipelago of islands. Each island is in itself a little country. I applaud their efforts, and would just like to see a stronger opposition and more transparency.
Wow.
Also make the ease of doing business better for Bahamians.
Sound like a true PLP.
And the thing is, I don't think he is.
Right.
Oh, I don't give away. I say he. I should have left that gender neutral. So, in our wrap up, Cheryl, what do you have to say?
I don't. I'm. You know what?
Catch
As
you
an
off guard.
employee of the government.
Oh, you gotta watch what you're saying.
No, I don't have to watch what I say. I don't live in fear.
Okay, there you go.
I don't fear any man.
We fear
God,
one person, God
I work for
Almighty.
God, and He gave me my job.
Amen,
so
sister.
No politician gave me my job.
Amen, sister.
And
your skills
and
keeping
they
you on
work
your job.
for me, and I'm a skilled person on
All
my
right,
job.
so you
And
know
they
favors
work-
keeping you there.
They work, no, sir.
All right.
No, the favor of God and my hard work.
All right.
But I think our politicians can do better. They can do a lot better. They're accountable to the people, and I have the right to criticize
Oh,
them.
yes.
I have the
Oh,
right
yes.
to ask questions. I have the right to say what I see is happening and is not happening. And we must understand we all have the right to do the same. And they, if they're decent, should humble themselves and let us know what it is that they're doing, and if they're not doing, and my thing is, a lot of my questions is not what they're doing or what they're not doing, is why are they doing some of the things that they are doing? Because a lot of the things that the government does, I don't understand the decision-making process behind, because I don't think they are facilitating the needs of the people. But I only have one vote.
Yeah.
So it is my hope that they'll catch their heads, and at least, we're not all going to ever be pleased with what the government does, but at least majority of the persons will be pleased.
Amen, sister. So I feel that governments has a very big responsibility, but heavy is the head that wears the crown. You didn't go there not knowing what government should be doing or shouldn't be doing. So don't cry about the position that it's too much work, or you can't do this or can't do that, because I'm sure any person vying for those positions know what it entails before they got inside there. So don't play crazy once you get there. I think governments need to live up to the responsibility that we listed in here: security, education, healthcare, providing economic growth, stability, managing our natural resources, ensuring that we have a skilled workforce, and the numerous things that we mentioned. I think and I hope that those who are listening would actually keep these in the forefront of their minds when these politicians come around asking for vote. Keep these in their minds and hold them, ask them what are they doing on these same topics we were talking about. And that's how we keep them accountable. That's how they'll know that they can't pull the wool over our eyes. They only could do what they're doing because we only demand a little from them. Little t-shirt, little ham, little turkey, little song and dance, and they getting away with murder. But if we ask them these important issues and making them stand up for it, we'll see a better country. So I agree with Cheryl, we just got to hold these government officials accountable. And it starts by us being accountable. So this has been Let's Talk. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you again next week, same time, same pace. Peace.